Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for your subscription. I hope you stay for a good long while. I am wanting to take a look at a profile of an assassin, and this is following my last upload where I talked about using the term that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and some people being uncomfortable with that term, saying that it's not an overstatement, it's the loss of life, but it certainly is a murder by which the desire was to stop his message by his debates, and that will qualify a person as assassin. But initially, when he was shot, there was this rush out initially, which stopped quickly, but there was still a rush to search for a Black male. And I still am stuck there as to why that was, because there wasn't a Black male in the crowd. And the zip code 84058, by which Orem, the city of Orem, Utah, has less than 1% Black in that zip code. So the person would have certainly stood out. And I'm still bothered by that because there always seems to be some sense of point to Black people and Black males in particular. And I'm just advocating for a review of that assumption and how horrible and unfounded that is. And so that's why I am pitching this view of an assassin's profile. Black people don't assassin. You won't find a Black person who assassinated anyone. And so let's just take a look at what's described. Again, I'll drop my previous upload into the description box so you can see that. But I want to just share with you this view and get away from pointing to us. When you were looking for you, the person who shot Charlie Kirk was a white male, and most 80% of assassins are white males. So it's truly a white on white crime. WOW, wow, it's a white on white crime. So let's just take a look at that, okay? Not being any arrogance or anything like that, but stop with my people for a change. Seriously, just stop. So let's say the characteristics, and I am going to read from the Journal of Psychological Review, and also search engine that I just pulled up to share with you. It reads as follows. Psychological and forensic analysis indicate that there is no one single profile of an assassin. However, studies have shown that many individuals who carry out or attempt assassination share a mix of motivations and personality characteristics. And these often follow a downward spiral in those individuals' lives. And so here is the most common of those characteristics, the motivations and mindset. First of all, it comes with an extreme overvalued belief. Assassins are often driven by intense, emotionally charged beliefs that are not delusional but are extreme in the context of their culture. The target is viewed as a personification of evil, justifying the need for them to remove them. And the evil often, now these are my words, I'm not reading this part, but the evil often is a juxtaposition of this assassin's belief that doesn't line up with the person of intent, that there is a strong diabolical um, strong diabolical difference of opinion. And then there is, secondly, a need for infamy. Some individuals are motivated by a desire to achieve notoriety and a special place in history. Now, this is in their mind. So the target's prominence is what makes them also an attractive target. And then here we go with the political part, which most people are thinking it's always lined to political. It could also be lined, as noted in my last upload. It could be lined with the person's desire to stop a strong message, and that strong message can deliver a developed new system and ways of existing in a country. So they want to stop the message. But the political or ideological goals, some assassins see their actions as a sacrifice for a political idea, while others aim to make a grand political statement. In the past, this has included radical nationalism or ethnic beliefs. So let's stop there with the ethnic beliefs. By what is described as an ethnic belief when 75% of assassins, particularly in America, who maintains on the list of the top 3 nations with the greatest number of assassins. So I'm talking about America. By which are you defining, since 74% or more of assassins are white, what ethnic culture, those terms that you use, are you referring to, when mostly ethnic and culture refer to a more minority people? So the twist of the language, the twist of the braiding of the terms is problematic as well. Not that white people don't have an ethnic culture, an ethnic or a culture, but it is a majority that they are talking about who are now becoming a minority. So there is a twisting and the braiding of the terms to confuse a person. Well, not here, you don't. So let's take a look at, since they mentioned ethnic beliefs, and radical nationalism. Let's look at the question of race and background of these listed U.S. assassins. It says here from the, what is this source? Timeline of American Assassinations Attempt by Political. Let me make sure I got this. I don't want to be in AI. I don't want to be in AI. I don't want to be in AI mode. There is no comprehensive race and background or ethnic list of U.S. assassins. Well, now see, they just said it was ethnic, right? They just said of an ethnic belief, but nonetheless, we won't play wordsmith with the word mess. We won't play wordsmith with the words mess. The backgrounds of individuals who have committed or attempted assassinations in the United States are diverse, reflecting a complexity of motivations, which range from political and ideological beliefs. So you say all that. You say all that because, to me, again, when you say diverse, you are including more people to be diverse, more backgrounds to be diverse, more cultures to be diverse, more ethnicities to be diverse, when the reality of an assassin is 75% white all the time. WOW, wow, white on white crime. Let's take a look at those attempts, and let's see who they are. Okay, let's see who they are and who they are not. They are not a Black male. They are not a Black female. They are not a Black person. So let's just take a look at a few. Assassinations of U.S. presidents. John Wilkes Booth was a prominent actor and supporter of the Confederacy. He assassinated President Abraham Lincoln in 1865. He is a white male with a gun. Then there's Charles Guitier, a lawyer and failed politician. Guitier assassinated President James Garfield in 1881. His motive was a delusional belief that he was owed a political appointment. Well, back in 1881, wasn't nobody black running for, they weren't in politics by which they would have either ran or been appointed. So there you have again. Another one, Leon Shoskolos. Now I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure. Czoloc. Let me spell it correctly. Czolgos. He is the son of Polish immigrants, so he's Polish. Polish ain't black. Polish immigrants. Shoskolos was an unemployed factory worker influenced by anarchism. He assassinated President William McKinley in 1901. Then we have Lee Harvey Oswald, who most of us at least did some recent studies on or learned about growing up, and at least that history is more present. It's at least in the 1900s and not the 1800s, but nonetheless, Lee Harvey Oswald, a white male, again with a gun. Oswald's background included service in the Marines, so he was familiar with weaponry. He also had a brief defection to the Soviet Union. He was identified by the Warren Commission as the assassin for President John F. Kennedy in 1963. Now, here's some of civil rights figures, non-presidents, but great civil rights leaders. James Earl Ray, well known to have slain and assassinated Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Memphis, Tennessee. James Earl Ray was a small-time criminal with the history of what? Racism. Who was he? A white male. What did he have? A gun. You see, I can go on, and you won't find a black male, yet you claim to be looking for one. How disturbing. Sirhan, a Palestinian Christian. Now, a Christian. Where is the Bible? A Christian immigrant. Sirhan assassinated presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy, the brother of John F. Kennedy, in 1968, based on his pro-Palestinian beliefs. Well, it wasn't a black man. And here we have Carl Weiss, a doctor who shot and killed Louisiana Senator Huey P. Long. Now, Huey P. Long in 1935. It is widely believed that Weiss was reacting to a rumor that Long had slandered his wife's family. So you're going to kill somebody for slander. Weiss, W-E-I-S. Now, I believe Weiss is a Jewish last name, but let me do my due diligence and check that out. Give me a second and let's find out. Weiss, I'm sure, is a Jewish last name. So let's see. I'm checking for us. W-E-I-S-S. Weiss, a Jewish last name. Well, we know that ain't black. Okay, so all of this profile by which they initially started looking for a black person who killed Charlie Kirk, to no avail. Black people don't assassinate. Okay, so again, may this be some kinds of conversations to have about to whom you're pointing your profile at. And that group of people cannot be found within the reality of your false request. In other words, stop the nonsense of your lies, okay? So having said that, let's check reality and let's understand the otherization of people, because they're not like you and they're just not like us. doesn't mean the otherization of a people have committed a crime because in your mind you made it so. Well, this is nonsense. There is psychological assessments that can be done to fix that. But in the meanwhile, I'll just speak the truth about it. And I love you. If you've gotten this far, please click like, please click subscribe. I love you. Speak up about wrongdoings and speak out about it. And I love you. Click subscribe. Bye now.